What's going on, gentlemen, G's, and players? Today, I'm going to be dropping some bombs of knowledge on a topic that every guy who cares about his appearance needs to be up to speed on, and that is hair loss prevention. Quick disclaimer, this prevention guide is going to work differently for everybody. Everybody's hair is going to respond differently. Not everybody has the same texture of hair. This is a prevention guide. This is not your cure. If you're already bald, then sadly this guide is just not for you. And finally, there is nothing wrong with being bald. We're all going to bald someday. We're all going to get there, unfortunately. And if you have some hair left, you just want to maintain that for as long as possible. You want to offset balding for as long as possible. And that's what this guide is here for. So without further ado, what is hair? Let's establish this first. In this diagram, we have the structure of a hair follicle. Your hair is similar to a plant. A plant has roots, it needs nutrients, needs water to grow. Your hair is similar. Instead of roots, it has the follicle at the very bottom. Your hair is similar in the sense that it has the bulb and similar to how a plant has roots, your hair has a bulb at the very bottom. Your hair is not going to exist without this bulb, and a plant's not going to exist without the roots. So our main goal here is to maintain the health of the follicle and the bulb here at the bottom. How does your hair get damaged? There are two different types. The first type is from mechanical damage. Mechanical meaning movement, meaning force. For example, this is if you're pulling your hair too hard or if you're scratching your hair too much. It's going to damage physically that hair follicle, and it's going to cause that hair to never grow back again. Secondly is chemical damage, such as shampoo, drying out your scalp. Scalp's too dry, you don't have enough nutrients, not enough moisture. Your hair follicles, they're not going to get enough nutrients to grow, and you're going to lose hair, unfortunately. Now let's talk about the products you need to get as soon as possible to prevent hair loss. Number one is a silk pillowcase. What makes this so special is the material. The material, your hair just slides right off. It's not pulling on your hair as you move your head during your sleep. Your hair's just sliding right off. And if your hair's not being pulled out during sleep, you're not going to be losing hair. Because your hair also slides right off the material, it's not going to give you bedhead when you wake up. Fortunately, in this photo, as you can see, I forgot my silk pillowcase one night and I woke up looking Super Saiyan 2. Looked cool until I realized I had things to do and places to be that day. Regardless, silk pillowcase, it's going to be a lot better for your skin. This is mostly because silk does not absorb the oils, the grease, and the sweat of your skin like other materials do. And if you're laying in that all the time, if you're exposing your face to that bacteria, that grime, that buildup of skin on your pillowcase, you're going to get bad acne. But silk, it's going to be a lot better at not absorbing that. But obviously, you do want to change out your pillowcase at least once a week. Secondly, you want a soft bath towel. Do not use a beach towel. We all have that one crappy beach towel we use on every beach trip. It's like sandpaper. It's miserable trying to dry off with that thing. A lot of people, they like to think they're Bob the Builder or something. They pretend their towel is sandpaper and their scalp is a really rough piece of wood. So they'll take their towel and they'll shave away at their head thinking their hair is going to get drier using it, using extra force. But no, that is the furthest thing from the truth. How you should dry your hair with the towel is you want to gently pat the wet hair and just move it around. It's not going to dry from the towel. It's going to dry after you comb and you let it sit out in the air. It's not going to dry, like I said, from shaving your head down to the bone with a crappy sandpaper towel. No. It's from combing it and letting it sit in the air. Number three, you want DHT Blocking Shampoo. I'm going to give you a really surface level explanation of what DHT is. I can go into more detail in another video. Essentially what DHT is, it is a molecule made by the body that binds to your hair follicles, and it causes the follicles to become inactive. And when it's inactive, it means there's no hair growing. So DHT, you do not want on your scalp. It has a time and place in other areas of your body. However, for scalp hair growth, it is the #1 enemy. Back to the shampoo. Once you're in the shower, scrub it into your hair and leave it in there for 60 seconds for your scalp to absorb. And I only use mine about 2 to 3 times a week just because, as I was saying, shampoo is like chemical warfare for your scalp. I don't like stripping my scalp of the nutrients it needs to have proper hair growth, so I try and stick with about a 2 to 3 times a week usage for this shampoo. Number 4, you want an all-natural olive oil bar soap. You will use this as your shampoo. But olive oil, I cook with that stuff. What should I pour lemonade in my head next? No. Olive oil is not like lemonade in any sense. Olive oil, it provides the proper nutrients that strengthen your hair. The nutrients your hair follicles need to have strong, healthy hair growth. This does not promote new hair growth. It only maintains the health of your current hair. So if your hair is kind of crappy, it's kind of dried out, it's just not good quality, I would definitely recommend using an all-natural olive oil bar soap about 2 times a week. And when you're scrubbing it into your hair in the shower, leave it in there for about 60 seconds, let it absorb in your scalp, and within about a month, you'll start to see some results. Number 5, this is the most important one, which is Minoxidil Solution. Minoxidil, it stimulates hair follicles to promote new hair growth. Don't ask me the mechanism of how it works, because even the people who made it up still don't even know how it works. But it does work nonetheless. Minoxidil, it can bring back some inactive hair. It's not going to be the ultimate silver bullet that makes you go from bald to a full head of hair overnight in a month and a year. No. It's only capable of bringing back some inactive hair. And in my opinion, this is the greatest protection against hair loss without having to take medication. Medication examples like finasteride. But for the purpose of this guide, we're staying away from medication. We're doing everything we possibly can to avoid it. How you use it, you'll put 1 milliliter on your scalp once a day and let it sit. So you'll put it on the scalp, rub it in, let it sit. I like to put mine in right before I go to sleep. That way it has all night to absorb and sit on my scalp. And you want to also keep this away from wounds or scratches. So if you have a pimple on your scalp, if you accidentally scratch your head too hard, if you went to the barber that day and you have some cuts on your head, you want to keep this away from those open wounds. One of the side effects is if it enters directly into the bloodstream via an open cut, you could possibly have heart palpitations. I personally have not experienced it because I have not stuck it onto an open scratch or wound like an idiot. So just be aware of that if you do decide to use this, which I highly recommend. Number 6 is the Derma Roller. This one's optional. Personally, I use a 1mm roller 1 time a week right after I shower. How a Derma Roller works is it'll cause minor damage and minor bleeding to the scalp, which then releases growth hormones, which are actually able to revive some inactive hair follicles. Now, this doesn't work extremely well. I'd say it works about 5%. You'll see about a 5% difference, but I'll still take an extra 5% of hair instead of not having an extra 5% of hair. And because it does cause that damage in those very small open wounds on your scalp, you do not want to use minoxidil for at least 24 hours after derma rolling, because one of the side effects of minoxidil is heart palpitations if it enters into an open wound or a cut. You never want to use mainstream shampoo. Mainstream shampoo is terrible for you. It's like engaging in chemical warfare on your scalp. How they work is it's basically a clean reset of everything on your scalp. So it takes away the dirt, but it also takes away the nutrients and those natural oils that make sure your scalp is healthy and not dry. This is a scam by these big companies, because now that your scalp is stripped of all the nutrients, it's going to get dry and cause hair damage. So they sell you the solution. They sell you the moisturizing hair wash as an add-on. They sell you the conditioner as an add-on to it. So just stay away from mainstream shampoos. 3-in-1s, 5-in-1s, 2-in-1s. If you have to use a shampoo, I recommend using a standard 1-in-1 shampoo only. Now, an example of a hair loss prevention schedule, this is the one I personally use. I'll do 1 milliliter minoxidil every single day, Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Will not do it Tuesday because that's when I do 5 minutes of derma rolling. I just take the derma roller, 5 minutes, go across my hairline. And when it comes to shampoo, I'll do the DHT shampoo 3 times a week. I'll spread it out. Olive oil soap 2 times a week. I'll spread that out. And 2 days out of the week, I won't even bother using shampoo. I just like to give my scalp some time to reset, to build back up those natural oils and those natural nutrients created by the body to promote optimal scalp health. In conclusion, your towel should not be sandpaper. You want to use 1 milliliter of minoxidil daily, unless you did derma rolling that day. You need to stop using mainstream 2-in-1 or 3-in-1 garbage-ass shampoos. Please stop using these. It's just such a scam. It's terrible for your scalp. And finally, you want to hop on the silk pillowcase meta. If you learned anything from this video, feel free to drop a like, comment, follow me on Instagram. A link is in the description below. And I will see you in the next video.